Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Sandman here, and today I'll be making a tier list for Tekken 8 based on how much I like or dislike fighting every character in this game, so this should be a fun one. Alright, let's get right to it. Alright, so like I said, this will be a tier list based on how much I like or dislike fighting every character, so this bottom tier will be like fighting, which probably won't be very many characters in this game if I'm being honest, but the tier above that will be don't mind fighting. Tier above that will be neutral, and the top tier will be hate it, which will probably be, honestly, I think before looking too deep into this character list, I think most of the characters will fall in line with either neutral or don't mind fighting. Good few will probably go and hate it, and very few will probably go and like fighting, but let's see, that should be it for now. So let's get to it. Alright, so first up, I guess we'll just go in order from how they have it on here. So first up is Jack 8. Jack is an interesting character in this game, to be honest, because he's very different from how he has been in like every other Tekken game previously that he's been in. They gave him a lot of stance mix-ups in this game, which is pretty interesting. I don't mind watching Jack players play. I think it's actually pretty cool to see a Jack player in a tournament. But as far as fighting him myself, I haven't played very many Jacks, but the Jacks I do play, I think I'll put him in don't mind fighting. I haven't labbed Jack very much in this game, but I feel like if you do lab him, his mix-ups from stance won't be as annoying. I remember back in the beginning of this game, everyone thought Jack was like super top tier because nobody knew the matchup, but as the games progressed, I feel like Jack's not that of an annoying character to fight anymore, so I'll put him in don't mind fighting. Jack's a pretty cool character. Oof. Next up is Jin. Jin is another interesting character in this game, similar to Jack, a character that they changed a lot from Tekken 7 to Tekken 8. Jin in Tekken 7 I would say was a really cool character, super hard to play, but really rewarding if you were good at playing him. In this game, they made Jin like super fucking easy, a little too easy if I'm being honest. So you see a lot of characters online playing them, just like spamming the same moves over and over again in the same like strings and stuff, so it can be pretty annoying to fight him. So I'm honestly thinking about putting Jin in hated, but I do like Jin as a character, so I think I'll leave Jin in neutral for now. Maybe I'll change my mind later, but yeah, I do still like Jin as a character overall. And although most players I fight against playing Jin do a bunch of BS, I'd say a lot of them are cool to play against, so I'll put him in neutral. Next up is June. I honestly don't fight that many Junes online, but June is another cool character I really like in this game. I really enjoy playing her in Tekken Tag 2, and yeah, I wish she would have came back in Tekken 7 as well, but she didn't. But they did end up bringing her back in Tekken 8, which is really cool. And I love how they revamped her from Tekken Tag 2. They made her like, because in Tekken Tag 2, if you didn't play it, she was very similar. Her and Asuka shared a lot of the same moves, and they still do in this game. But they made June and Asuka their own characters, much more so than in Tekken Tag 2. So I'd say I kind of like fighting June, to be honest. She can have some annoying stuff with like all her healing moves and her her heat burst and stuff, or heat smash, sorry, but I kind of like fighting June. June's a really cool character to watch, and I don't really mind fighting against her. Oof, Nina. Honestly. We will do rather. Okay. Alright, so Nina goes immediately to that tier that will not be named. I don't even know how to where to begin explaining my hatred for this character. I genuinely despise fighting Nina, and I have ever since I played Tekken. I'm probably not alone in that. I'm sure a lot of people recognize how annoying Nina can be to fight. And it's just not like normal annoying like some other characters will get to later in this tier list, like Dragon Off or somebody, but it's a special kind of annoying. to fight this character like effectively, you have to learn every single one of her, not every single one, but a majority of her strings that people like to spam online, which is a lot of them. And her strings aren't very easy to deal with unless you like spend a lot of time practicing how to beat them. It's a lot of specific high, lows, sidestep here, duck this, punish that. It's a lot of stuff that I honestly haven't taken the time to learn. And if I do one day, which I probably will, she might not be as annoying to fight, but I just genuinely do not like this character whatsoever. So she goes in that new special tier, and we'll leave her there. Next up is Kazuya, one of my favorite characters in the Tekken series. Pretty cool character overall. In this game, they did make him super fucking cool, if I'm being honest. He has a lot of cool stuff in Heat once you transform into like the Devil Kazuya. Honestly, I'll just put Kazuya here. I really like fighting this character. Some Kazuyas online can be a little annoying, just spamming like Hell Sweep, 443, Demon Paw, but going against a decent Kazuya that likes to mix it up and like actually try to play the game decently, Kazuya can be a really fun character to fight. You can get some good matches with him. Next up is King. King is another really cool character in this game. There are a lot of them. And I do really enjoy fighting King, I think sometimes. Well, I almost forgot King was a grappler there for a second, Jesus Christ.
And his name is John C.
Okay, take that back. I don't really enjoy fighting this character as often as I thought I did, to be honest, but outside of the grab spamming that most people do online and me having god-awful throw breaks for some reason, I'm really trying to work on that. But King is a cool character. Love seeing King players online when I'm not playing against them, or in tournament, of course. But as far as me right now playing online, because I do like King so much, I will put him in, I don't know, I'm torn between neutral and don't mind right now. I think I'll put King in neutral. I don't hate fighting against him because I think he's so cool, but I don't enjoy fighting against him either because all the throws and stuff can be hard to break for me. Let me know how you guys feel about fighting King, to be honest. I know some people think King is really good in this game, first of all, I will say that right now. He has a lot of cheap stuff too as well with the armor and stuff, but let me know what you guys think about fighting King. I think King can be a cool character to fight against sometimes, but other times he cannot. Alright, next up we have my main character in this game right now, Lars Alexanderson. Like I said, I am a Lars main. Lars is one of my favorite characters. I've been playing him since he was in the game in Tekken 6. But I can admit Lars is a pretty annoying character to fight against. So honestly, I would put him in like a tier in between hate it and neutral. But I think I'll just leave it like this, and I'll put Lars in neutral as well. Because, like I said, he can be super annoying to fight against, I'm not going to lie. But I enjoy the character, so I'll play him anyway. And if I do run across a Lars online, which honestly isn't that often, Lars I feel like isn't a super popular character to play against, but when you do run across a Lars, it can be annoying, especially if you don't like know how to deal with all his fake stance pressure and stuff, which most people don't. Lars can be a little annoying to fight, but I'll put him in neutral for myself. Next up is Law. Honestly, I don't dislike Law as a character. I think Law's pretty cool. I like seeing Law in tournament and stuff, but I kind of hate fighting against Law in this game, to be honest. A lot of it is probably like lack of matchup knowledge. I do know a little bit about the matchup, but not enough to like do well against most of the Laws I fight. And if I'm being honest, like, no disrespect to Lars players, but I feel like, Law players, but I feel like most of them like mash like really hard, like harder than most characters I fight in this game, which is kind of funny. But like I said, no disrespect to Law players. I think he's a cool character. Not a character that I'm really interested in playing myself, but yeah, I do hate fighting that character sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Oof. Next up is Zhao Yu. Ling Zhao Yu. Not even gonna waste time thinking about it. She immediately goes up into the tier with Nina. As a matter of fact, I will put her first in that tier. Ling Zhao Yu is the most annoying character for me to fight in this game by far. I don't know what it is about this character, or why she's designed the way she is, or why the players online do the things that they do, and I'm not even going to elaborate on that. You know exactly what I'm talking about as far as Ling players. Again, no disrespect to Ling players or Nina players, but if you play that character, shame on you. Anyways, moving on. Paul Phoenix. Paul Phoenix is a really cool character as well in this game. My dad actually plays Paul a lot, and I used to play my dad growing up a lot because he's the one that got me into Tekken, and he played a lot of Paul as well as a lot of King and a bunch of different characters. But Paul is pretty cool character to watch from like a spectator standpoint. Big damage, hard hitting moves, and Death Fist and Demolition Man. But fighting against them, I'm kind of torn between Paul too because I do like him a lot as a character as well. But like I said, my throw breaks are god awful at the moment, and Paul players do a lot of throws. And I don't really like his hair in this game. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in hated, to be honest. I'm not even gonna lie. His hair alone in this game is enough to put him in hated. But like I said, I do like Paul as a character as well. Funny, Law and Paul in the same tier list, the best friends. I mean, in the same tier, but yeah, Paul's a cool character. Don't really enjoy fighting against him. As a matter of fact, I kind of hate it. But cool character. I like seeing him being played in tournament as well. Asuka. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't fought very many Asuka players whatsoever. But just because I know the character, I'm probably gonna put her in hated too. Or honestly, I might put Asuka in neutral because like I said, I don't really play against her that much. I can't really just hate on her based on what I see. I guess. Fun fact: I was an Asuka main as well in Tekken 6 Tag Tournament 2, as well as the majority of the beginning of Tekken 7 before I really started playing the game. The more I learned about the game, the less I kind of like played Asuka, started playing more Lars and a bunch of different other characters. But I don't hate Asuka. I think she's a pretty cool character sometimes. She can be annoying to fight though, the few times I do fight her, but I think I'll put her in neutral for the sake of this tier list right now. Maybe if I do another tier list like this in the future and I run into more Asukas, I'll put her in hated. More than likely, I don't think she'd ever go higher than that though. I don't think she'd go into the forbidden tier list up top because I do think Asuka's a kind of a cool character. Next up, we have Leroy. Leroy's an interesting character, pretty popular character in Tekken 7, but I feel like he kind of fell off in this game. I don't think that's crazy to say either. I feel like I used to run into Leroy a lot in Tekken 7, but I rarely ever fight this character. I do fight him more than I fight Asuka though, so I won't say he's like completely dead in this game or anything, but also very interesting in Tekken 7, I probably would have put this character in hated or this top tier even, but in Tekken 8, I don't hate fighting this character, honestly. I'd like to go look at like what my win rate is against this character, to be honest. I feel like I don't lose against him too often. I feel like I don't fight him a lot, but when I do fight him, I don't hate it, so I'm honestly going to put Leroy and don't mind fighting in Tekken 8. That might be weird. Honestly, let me know what you guys think about Leroy in this game, but I don't find him anywhere near as annoying as I did in Tekken 7, so I will say hats off to you Tekken developers. I really appreciate this one. Also, if I'm being honest, I think the reason Leroy is not played as much in this game as he is in Tekken 7 is more than likely because they nerfed him to shit in this game. I don't know if he's gotten any buffs in any of the patches this far. I'm sure he's gotten at least some buffs, right? But I feel like in every patch they've just consistently like shat on Leroy, which is kind of funny. Sucks to be a Leroy player, but he's still really cool looking in this game, so you know, you still have that going for you if you play the character. But yeah, I don't mind fighting him at all in this game, which is nice. Next up is Lily. Lily can be a bit of an annoying character sometimes. But honestly, I don't think she's that annoying to fight. I really kind of neutral. Or don't mind fighting Lily. It could be either or, but I'll put her in don't mind fighting for the sake of this video. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about Lily. Not a character I find particularly cool, but I do run into her a lot online. So I think a lot of people do enjoy that character, and she was really good at the beginning of the game. And then I think she got nerfed, from beginning of the game to midway up until like now. But yeah, she is pretty standard character in my opinion. Don't really hate her or love her, so there you go. Next up is Horang. I gotta say, Horang is one of the coolest characters in Tekken overall, but I don't like fighting this character, if I'm being honest. This is really hard for me to fight this character, which I'm sure it is for like most people who play Tekken, but Harang, especially in like the ranks I'm in like red ranks currently. I don't play ranked that often, but I do plan on like in a future video like starting to play ranked more often, maybe like make it a series for the channel and starting to like get better at the game. But as of now in the ranks I'm in, Harang is one of the most scrubby, annoying characters to fight against, and can be a little hard to deal with. I'm definitely gonna have to look into the matchup a lot more, but yeah, I don't like fighting this character. I do love watching this character be played in tournament. Shout out Speed Kick, shout out K-Wish, shout out Rest, all those guys, super cool Harang players. Love watching them all play, and love watching the content for those who make it, Speed Kicks and K-Wish, but and I played Harang for a bit in Tekken 7. He was the first character I actually like started to learn how to play the game with, funnily enough. But yeah, I don't play him much in this game. Maybe one day in the future I will learn how to play Harang in this game, because I do enjoy his combos. I think he looks really cool. Yeah, but don't really like fighting the character right now. Next up is Claudio. Now, if this was a tier list based on just how much I like or dislike a character, he would go in like F tier far. I don't really like this character whatsoever. I didn't like him in Tekken 7, don't like him in Tekken 8. Could that be? I don't know, honestly. I don't know what it is that I like dislike about him that much. His design just isn't really that appealing to me. His gameplay, some of the stuff they gave him in Tekken 8 I will say is like pretty cool with like the starburst effect stuff he has. But other than that, I just don't really enjoy his gameplay. Don't think he's that cool of a character. But I don't mind watching like someone like Shadow play this guy in Tekken 7. It was pretty cool to watch. And I do think he is a pretty solid character right now in Tekken 8, and I kind of don't mind seeing him being played in tournament nowadays either. But yeah, I don't really care for this character whatsoever, but I don't really like hate fighting him either, I guess I'll say. He can be annoying sometimes, but yeah, I think I'll put him in neutral for now. That might change later. I might put him in 8, but we'll see. Next up is Azucena, the newcomer to Tekken 8. Azucena is a pretty cool character. I don't really have any plans on learning how to play her myself, but I don't mind watching Azucena. She was really annoying to watch at the beginning of Tekken 8 because she was like super strong, one of the best characters in the game. But since they've nerfed her, I don't think many people are still playing her and stuff. Like haven't seen people like pro players like Arslan play her much at all since she's been nerfed. I remember he won that first offline Tekken 8 tournament back before the game even released that had all the Evo winners for Tekken 7 in it, which was pretty cool, seeing him like demolish everybody in that tournament with Azucena. But yeah, I don't think many people play her nowadays because he got nerfed and stuff, and isn't as easy to autopilot with, even though she can still be autopiloted and get some like pretty easy wins. But me personally, I don't mind fighting this character at all, which may come as a surprise. Pretty sure a lot of people hate fighting this character, but I feel like I just never feel strongly about or feel negatively about whenever I have to fight her sometimes. So yeah, that's Azucena. Next up is Raven. Raven is an interesting character to talk about. I'm thinking right now, and I maybe have fought Raven in this game like a handful of times. I could probably count on my hands the amount of times that I fought Raven in this game, so I don't really have much to work with. So I guess I'll have to base most of this character off like stuff I know and like see about him when other people play him and stuff, which honestly isn't much there either if I'm thinking about it. I can't name very many players that play this character. But Raven, like I said, I don't really have much to go about him, so I can't really hate him or love him. I guess he goes in neutral, to be honest, just based off lack of knowledge of the character. But in Tekken 7 and previous Tekken games, I will say Raven, Master Raven, whatever, can be annoying to fight sometimes, but I don't think they're too bad to fight, so I'll just put him in neutral for now because I don't really know much about the character. Oof, now we have the big man dragging off arguably the best character in the game right now, and probably since the game released. This character, and that's crazy to say because this character has been nerfed, and he was nerfed significantly, I will say, but I just didn't do much in terms of bringing him down for where he currently ranks in amongst the strongest characters in the game, which is the top of that. I will say I do not like fighting this character at all. It's just really annoying. The throws mixed in with the insane combo routes, mixed with the insane combo damage, mixed with the mix they gave him with the hatchet in this game. He really did not need that move whatsoever. It kind of just like makes Dragunov too good. In Tekken 7, he was like he had some good stuff going for him in terms of like his combos. He had some of the best combos in the game, but he had some pretty noticeable flaws in the game, which I think is perfectly fine for character. I like when characters have like super strong like strengths, but also super obvious weaknesses. And in this game, I feel like when they gave him the hatchet kick like Brian's, it just like kind of patched a hole in all of his weaknesses. Because in previous, like I feel like down two, previously like his best low before hatchet kind of like held the character together and made him like pretty cool. But I feel like yeah they overtuned him way too much in this game. He's just so annoying to fight to be honest. So I'll put him in hated. As far as like how I feel about the character, I don't hate Dragunov to be honest. I hate fighting him, but I don't hate the character itself. I think he's pretty cool looking in the game. Don't really have any what's the word, intentions on learning how to play the character outside of like learning the matchup further. But yeah, I think Dragunov is a pretty annoying character to fight. I feel like most people would agree with that. Next up is Kuma, and I guess I'll do Kuma and Panda at the same time. Normally, and if this were Tekken 7, I would immediately put these guys up here in this tier list because I despised with every fiber in my being fighting these characters in Tekken 7, but I genuinely don't think I fought these characters a single time in Tekken 8. Like I said, I've done very few rank sessions. I'm only in red ranks, so there are a lot of characters that I rarely ever fight, and I think these might be the two only characters that I've never run into online, and I knock on wood. I hope I never have to run into these characters, but I know eventually I will, right? Honestly, fuck it, this is my tier list. I don't care if I haven't fought these characters in this game. I'm putting them up here, to be honest. Yeah, fuck those characters. Again, no disrespect if you play them, but shame on you. Go play a different character, please. Those characters are just so annoying. If you play the game, you already know. I don't really need to explain much on why the bears are always super annoying gimmick characters to fight, and their heat systems in this game are just insane. You can see like obviously a very high caliber player ranked you do well top 8 most of the tournaments that they go to, I feel, with these two characters as well as a few other different picks for matchups. But yeah, Kuma and Panda super annoying to fight in the game. Hope they take those characters out of the game, for being honest. Anyways, next up we have Leo. Now Leo is a character I used to mess around with a little bit in Tekken 7. I don't really know why. I don't really particularly think this character is like that cool, to be honest. But I do like kind of enjoy the game, not the gameplay, but like Leo's fighting style. I think it does look kind of cool. So I kind of messed around with them in Tekken 7, but I haven't really touched them in Tekken 8. Probably have zero plans to, but I will say I'm probably pretty neutral on Leo. I don't hate fighting him. I don't love fighting him. So yeah, I'll just leave him there for now. Next up is Shaheen. Super fucking lame character, if I'm being honest. This is probably one of my least favorite like newcomers in Tekken of all time. Maybe besides like Claudio. Honestly, no, I definitely dislike Shaheen more than Claudio. Claudio has like fucking hella drip compared to this loser. But yeah, it's a pretty bland character. Pretty bland gameplay. Definitely like a little cooler in this game. They gave him some fancy shit. They gave him, I heard that, I haven't like actually looked into it, but I know they gave him like a flash kick style move like Guile from Street Fighter 6, like a charge move, like you hold down then up in the kick button or whatever button it is to do the move. It's like a flash kick, which is pretty cool, I guess. But yeah, I just don't feel like they did a very good job on making him like interesting to watch or play if you're me. But I do understand like having him in the game for representation of his region and stuff, and his nationality, but not a character I really give a fuck about, to be honest. So I'll put him. Honestly, as much as I don't like him, I probably don't mind fighting him that much either. I feel like he doesn't have like a lot of bullshit to hit you with. So I guess I don't really mind fighting Shaheem that much. I do wish they would like make him a little cooler or whatever. Next up is another fan favorite, Steve Fox, the boxer. Steve is a really cool character I like. I've labbed him a bit here and there. Still not enough to like know the matchup very well, but I know a decent amount. Well, I'm not even saying I don't really know shit, to be honest. But Steve is a cool character. Pretty hard combos for me to do personally. It's one of the main reasons I like never really picked up Steve as like one of my main characters. I feel like with time I will obviously be able to like learn his combos as well as any character, but I feel like Steve is like a super top tier difficulty character, so maybe one day I'll mess around with him and decide to pick him up for a bit. But Steve is a really cool character. Honestly, if this was Tekken 7, I would probably put him in like hated. I feel like Steve was one of my worst matchups in Tekken 7 by far. I don't know if that was just me being like a much worse character back then and not really knowing much about the game, or like knowing how to play the game as much as I do now, but yeah, I did not like fighting Steve whatsoever in Tekken 7. But in Tekken 8, I honestly gotta say, I don't mind fighting him, and I might even like fighting him. Honestly, yeah, just for the sake of this video, not having much representation in this game, I will say I kind of like fighting Steve. Steve can be cool sometimes. Once you kind of like figure out what the Steve player is doing and like try to learn the matchup, I feel like Steve is... I like fighting him, I'll say that much. Steve is cool. Ooh, next up is Yoshi. I don't honestly know if I have to think about this much. Yoshi's a really cool character, but I don't like fighting the character. Does anybody like fighting Yoshi? Flash, obviously. I don't even need to like elaborate on that. Yoshi can be really annoying to fight, although I do enjoy seeing a Yoshi player in tournament. Kane and Trench, really godlike Yoshi player. I remember enjoying all of their matches at the Esports World Cup that was just held, was that like a couple months ago at this point? A couple weeks ago, whatever it was. But yeah, Yoshi's a pretty cool character to watch. Awful character to fight, but Yoshi's cool. I like Yoshi. Next up is Feng Wei. Honestly, I don't fight many Feng Weis in Tekken 8, or I haven't thus far. That'll probably change eventually once I start playing the game more. But Feng, I feel like I don't mind fighting Feng that much. Feng can be like kind of bullshit, obviously, as much as like any character in the game can. But Feng is really solid in this game, I think. I don't know if he's like one of the best characters, but I think he's like probably within top 10 just off the top of my head. But yeah, I don't mind fighting Feng that much in this game. His heat mechanics can be kind of bullshit, but whatever. Oof. You guys got a partner up there in the forbidden tier list. Alyssa, honestly, if I'm ranking this top tier list, Alyssa is... I don't think genuinely, like... If I look deep within my mind's eye, I don't think I can in good conscience put Alyssa over Zhao Yu, because I just despise fighting that character so much. But Alyssa, if Zhao Yu wasn't in the game, Alyssa would be easy number one over Nina and the Bears. But yeah, Alyssa is kind of really strong in this game with chainsaws and all the plus frames and all the bullshit she can do. Don't like fighting that character whatsoever. She's super fucking annoying to go against. Luckily, I don't fight her that often, so again, knock on wood, hopefully it stays that way. But yeah, Alyssa's not really a character I enjoy at all. Alright, next up is Devil Jin. Devil Jin's honestly, amongst the rest of the cast, one of the characters I fight the least. I don't know if that has to do with how weak he is in this game. Devil Jin is another character that they have just nerfed into the ground. This is like the first time in like 20 plus years that Devil Jin is like genuinely one of the worst characters in the fucking game, which is kind of wild to say. Devil Jin is usually always one of the best, if not the best Mishimas in the game, but they took a different route this game. I guess they really want to push the Jin agenda in this game, since he is like obviously the main protagonist. They made him really strong and really easy to use, so I guess they're kind of leaning more towards Jin being the best Mishima than Devil Jin right now, which is kind of wild. But like I said, I don't fight him that much. I don't think Devil Jin's too annoying to play against though, so I'll put him in like neutral, I guess. I don't really have much information on him at all besides what I see like other people when they play against him or other people that play him. So yeah, but Devil Jin is a cool character. Eventually I might pick him out myself. He looks fun to play. He has some really saucy combos to say the least. So yeah, Devil Jin's cool, but yeah, I'm really kind of indifferent on fighting him or not. Next up is Lee. Lee is also an interesting character. I don't think he's like super popular, but if I'm being honest, I kind of like fighting Lee. Lee's a pretty cool character to watch. Even if like the lead players kind of like whooping my ass, if they do some cool shit, I'll be like that was pretty fucking cool. I can't even lie. All right. So yeah, I kind of like fighting Lee. Lee's cool to watch. I've never really like tried to learn how to play Lee. Maybe that'll change later on in my course of playing Tekken 8, because I do, like I said, I do like Lee. I like his combos. I think he's a pretty cool character to watch. I don't really like the outfit they gave him, his default outfit in this game, but I do think they just recently put his like OG like Tekken outfit, the one with like the vest and stuff and like the sheer shirt and whatever. I do think they put that in the game, so I might have to, you know, do that or give him any other outfit besides the one they gave him, like the goggles and shit and like the tech suit for whatever reason in this game. Yeah, but outside of his outfits, I do think Lee's a pretty cool character. I like fighting against him sometimes. Oof, Zafina. Zafina. Just for the sake that she is also a character I rarely ever run against, I will give her the benefit of the doubt and put her only in here. Although she can questionably, like, she may be able to go in this tier. Who knows? I don't know. She may be able to go there, but I think just for now, I'll put her in Hated. Maybe that's liable to change later, you know, kind of none of this shit is set in stone, but yeah, I don't really enjoy fighting this character. She is, honestly, I don't even know I don't think she's good. She may be, is she good? I don't know. I don't know where most people rank Zafina in their tier list. I don't really think anybody's playing her right now. Arsenal's not playing her anymore. She's definitely not as good as she was in, like, Tekken 7. Or like in the same tier she was in Tekken 7, I don't think. Only character I can think of that does play her right now is I've seen Chanel play this character. He pulled her out in the Esports World Cup a couple months ago. But besides that, yeah, I don't really know how good she is in the game right now. But just based off what I know about the character, obviously she's super online. Of course, she's super gimmicky, stance heavy character. Kind of a fucking freak character, if I'm being honest. I don't like fighting her because I haven't done any labbing whatsoever on this character. I don't really recognize her animations. Yeah, just not a fun time. If I ever get matched up against Zafina, you know, I'm kind of like putting my fucking face in my hand and like, oh, here we fucking go again. So yeah, that's Zafina. I kind of like dislike fighting that character a lot. Next up we have Victor. This also isn't a character I need much contemplating on. I do not like fighting this character. He might be the character I dislike fighting the most outside of this top tier of characters. Not to say the rest of this list outside of these guys is like ordered in any way, shape, or form. I'm pretty sure I've just been like going in order for most of them. But yeah, Victor's a super annoying character to fight, which is kind of, I guess that could be kind of hypocritical of me to say, considering I play Lars, and I do like, I don't know if it's like kind of how other people feel about this, but I kind of see Victor as like Lars, but like way more fucking annoying, if I'm being honest. They have like a lot of similar moves and stuff, or similar type of moves and stuff, but yeah, I just find Victor like way more annoying than I do like my own character, of course, but yeah. And honestly, just outside of like his gameplay, I'm not a fan of the character. When I first saw his trailer, I didn't like think I'd ever play the character, but I do kind of like respect the John Wick archetype of character, right? I have the knife, the Glock, the big fucking cybernetic ass sword. I can respect it, right? I can see how some people think it's cool, but yeah, Victor's just not my type of character. I think he's pretty lame, if I'm being honest. And I strongly dislike fighting this character. Yeah, he has a lot of nonsense. They also nerfed Victor a lot since the game came out. Even outside of just like normal stuff, he had a lot of bugs in terms of like his throw stuff. But They did fix most of that. They nerfed a bunch of his moves, so he's not like super strong anymore. But you can still get around with this character a lot, especially like in the lower ranks and stuff. Yeah, you pick Victor, you spam the fucking 2 button, and you're gonna win a decent amount of matches. But yeah, I don't like fighting that character. Next up is Brian Fury, another one of next to Kazuya, probably my favorite character in the game. If I was like really good at the game, I'd probably play Brian, and I probably eventually will learn Brian once I get a little more comfortable playing Tekken 8 and ranking up some more and learning some more, techniques and whatnot. I definitely will eventually pick up Brian as well as Kazuya. I love playing both of those characters, even though I'm dog water with both of those characters. But despite how much I enjoy Brian as a character, I kind of want to put him in neutral, to be honest. And that's only based off because the Brians I fight now are just like kind of spamming Snake Edge, and I am god awful at reacting to that right now. I will eventually get better at reacting to those super slow lows, but as of now, I'm just not that guy. But honestly, I'm gonna overwrite that just because I like Brian. Again, it's my tier list. I do what the fuck I want. I'm gonna put him in Don't Mind Fighting that much because I do think he's pretty cool. Don't even get me started on like taunt stuff. I could talk about this character all day. The pressure, the combos, the counter hit. Probably the coolest combos in the game, maybe? Probably, yeah, I think that's pretty fair to say. Coolest combos in the game. Some of the craziest wall travel, craziest routes, big damage. Brian's a really cool character. Love seeing him play in a tournament, especially if it's like Nee or Bilal or Jimmy J. All awesome Brian players. Love seeing those guys play in a tournament. Next up is Reina. Reina's probably the coolest newcomer in Tekken history, if I'm being honest. Not my all-time favorite character or anything, but I do think she's really cool. I enjoy Reina. I do also want to learn her eventually. She's amongst many characters I want to learn in this game, like June, Kazuya, Brian, maybe a few others. But yeah, I want to learn Reina eventually. I think she's really cool. I like her style. I like that she has a bunch of like Heihachi's moves and stuff, as well as like her own shit. Excuse me. But yeah, I think Reina's a really cool character. Now, fighting against Reina, this is interesting. At first glance, I want to put her in neutral, but I do like the character a lot. But fighting her is like a fucking blocking simulator, to be honest. He has like some of the longest block strings and stuff, especially if they start throwing out forward 2 into stance and whatnot. Her 1-1-2 into stance, hell sweep into stance. You have to like, you got to know what the fuck you're doing when you're playing against Reina, or you will get like overwhelmed. She is like a super snowball heavy character, I think. Really hard to play though, so you don't. I feel like she is like the most popular character in the game as far as like pick rate. I believe I haven't seen like the recent statistics on like who's most played and ranked right now. But back the last time I did see it, I do feel like Reina was like the most popular, if not like top 5 most popular characters in Tekken 8 right now. Interestingly enough, because she's like on the opposite side of the spectrum as far as like winning with the character a lot. I feel like most Reina players, well, I don't feel like, it's a fact that a lot of Reina players lose majority of the matches. That's not the correct way to say that, but you know what I mean. Reina's not an easy character to win with, per se. Outside of like lower ranks and like knowledge checking opponents that don't know what they're doing. But I guess I'll say I don't really mind fighting Reina. You just gotta know you gotta block when you see this character pop up on the screen. That's about it. Next up is Eddie. Eddie is an interesting character because if this was Tekken 7, he'd probably go in or like Tekken 6 or Tekken Tag Tournament 2. He'd definitely go in like this top tier. But as I've grown, learned to match up a little more, got a little better at the game. Eddie's not anywhere near as annoying to fight as I thought he was. And nowhere near as good as I thought he was back before I knew how to play the game and stuff. I honestly don't mind fighting Eddie in this game a lot whatsoever, to be honest. Not a character that I'm ever interested in playing, probably ever. Yeah, ever. But I don't really mind fighting him that much. He's not that annoying to me. Ooh, now this bitch. Lydia, the most recent character in Tekken 8. I gotta say, I haven't like looked into labbing her whatsoever yet, so most Lydia players kind of fucking stomp me, so I think just naturally I have to put this bitch into um, probably second and hate it, if I'm being honest. I don't like fighting Lydia. I didn't like fighting her in Tekken 7 either. But again, don't know the matchup that well. Once I learn the matchup, just like any character, she'll probably get a little easier to fight, but I don't think I'll ever like fighting her, obviously, fuck no, or not mind fighting her. I just don't really like the character. She does have some cool animations, cool rage art, I will say though, cool moves, yeah, cool fighting style I guess, but yeah, she's just super annoying to fight for me. But alright, that's all the characters currently in the Tekken 8 roster. Heihachi's up next, I guess just for the sake of talking about him since he is the next character confirmed DLC for Tekken 8. I think just based off his Tekken 7 version, I don't mind fighting Heihachi whatsoever. I think he's a pretty cool character. I might even like play him a little bit once he does drop in Tekken 8. Just because I think he has like super cool combos and like a super charismatic character, just like his daughter Reina. So yeah, I'll probably play Heihachi a little bit, but I think I'd put him in neutral. Obviously, I don't know how annoying he'll be in this game, but we'll see. But yeah, this kind of turned out pretty much exactly how I thought it would. Majority of characters in this middle area here. Very few characters in the bottom, and this... God damn, don't even get me started on this fucking... This is like the holy grail of characters that I despise in this game. But like I said, don't even get me started. If you know about these characters, you fucking know. If you know, you know. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for the video today. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like and a comment down below. And let me know how you feel about fighting all these characters. Again, this is just a tier list based on how much I like or dislike fighting a character, not how I feel about the character overall. That would be a completely different tier list. But yeah, that'll be it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.